Hi, hello guys. Welcome again to Python programming for kids and teens and for everyone actually. So this is the 13th video in this series. It's a lot. It's crazy. Yeah, I know. We are almost getting to the end of this, and I hope you guys are learning and having fun, right? Because like this skill that you are learning right now will go a long way. Trust me, you might not know right now. So, but it's good that you guys are learning this. So, last week we designed a calculator using Python, which is not easy because it was a lot of code and a lot of things that we did, right? We're gonna do something really related today, right? But we're gonna design something much more interesting. So, we are designing our own Google translation app, right? You know, the way you have Google Translate that you can translate from one language to another. Yes, exactly. We're going to build our own Google translation app, right? Using Python, right? So the way this will work is you will type your word in here. So let's say maybe I or something, right? Um, then you select the language that you want it to be in. um, then you say translate, right? And then when you click on translate, then it will translate it to that language. Then if you want it to sound, you can also play the sound, right? That's gonna be a lot of work, but it's gonna be fun. All right, so without much, let's get right into it, right? So let me just close out these ones, right? The first thing that we want to do, let's just create our uh Python file for now. You know, we're going to use the um Python QT PyQt to design our interface, right? You know, just the same way that we did this with it, right? So in the last video I showed you guys how to install PyQt. So if you have not installed PyQt, you have to go back to the last video. So for us to launch PyQt so that we can start designing, so remember the code to, like, the command to do that in your command prompt right here is I'll remind you guys. Okay, let me see, I think I've forgotten to yeah, so it's gonna be PyQt5 tools designer, something like this. So when you launch it, then it should bring this up. So you click on widget, right? Then if you're on Mac, you have to do all of these. uh, okay, cool. So what we want to do is something like this. All right, so the first thing, let's first change the name to translation app, or again, you can name it anything, right? It depends on what you want. So the name of this right here is going to be window title, right? So just click on this and then go to window title. So I'm going to call my own translation app. You can call it your name app or Google translation or anything, right? So translation app, then it comes in here, it shows in here. So the first thing that we need is oops, is this guy right here, right? This one. So and this one is plain text edit. So you come here, type plain, so this guy, this one, so drag and drop it and make it big as you want, maybe not too big. Okay, I'm gonna try to expand this so I have space. Okay, So the only thing that we need to do in here, the property, so you come to this top object name, please do it this way so that your code will work. Say input text. Remember, this T is capital, this I is lowercase, right? Then press enter. Good. So now we need this one, right? So also the same thing, is also plain text. You drag and drop it. Yeah. Let's make it big. Almost the same. Let me see. Yeah. Okay, so the name of this one, this fancy object name, so it's translated text. See, please don't make text. Please don't make mistake, okay? Because if you don't do it this way, your code will not work, because I'm gonna use this name in the code. All right, translated text. Okay, so we need the label. Let me move this down a little bit. So we need a label input text. So let's search for a label. So just double click on it, input text. Right, I think that's all we need to do for that one. Then we need a label for this. This is not supposed to be translated to, not translated to. So let's get a label and call that label translate to. So you see it's not showing very well, so you have to click on it and drag it out. Okay, so after this we need a drop down here, right? So the drop down that we have in here is, I think, is a combo box. So just come here, say combo, then you drag and drop and put it right here. So we need to fill in our options. All right, so this will be our option. So just double click on this, double click, right? Then we need to put in options. So just click on this one first. So our first option is French. Make sure your spelling is right, or else your code will not work. French. Then we have German. Then we have Chinese. Then we have Italian. Then we have Korean. So to do translation for all of these languages, we have Japanese. Of course, we're not going to do everything because it's going to be a lot of work. So we'll do some selected, but please, oh, that spelling is right. Plus Russian. Which other one? Let's see. Oh, Spanish. Okay, cool. So then we just say okay to that. So now we have this. All right, good. We're almost done with it. So we need a button. This is a button, right? So let's go look for a button. So it's a call push button. So you put it in here, double click on it and say translate. Right, so make it big a little bit, like, yeah, something like that. So then the name of that button, I want it to be so click on this and come the object name. So let's call that translate button. See, there is no space, and this one is small letter, this is capital letter. Please make sure. All right, so that's that. Then we need another button for the sound, right? So another button, so just bring this one down here, So I'll call this one play, right? And drag it down. Was it top play or play? Okay, play sound. Yeah, sorry. Play sound. Okay, so but we need to change the object name of play sound. So we'll call it play button. Cool. Then if you want to make it look nice, right? You want to put your name down here, or you can even put it up here. It depends on you, right? So your name, you can use label for your name. So I'll say developed by Ayomide. So you drag it. So one thing I also found is you can actually change the color of your name if you want to, but I won't change mine, but I will show you. Okay, so but you have to use CSS. You guys remember CSS, right? So just click on what you want to change the color, then go to style sheet. So just click on this. I think you click on this, right? Then you can just say color. So if it's, I think, red, something like this should work. See, you can change it like that. You can say blue, something like that, red. You know what? No, I don't know. Doesn't look good. Let me see. Gray. Let me see. But anyways, if you want to change the color, you can do it. But I'm not gonna do it. What's going on? Oh, it's asking me for color. Okay, so I can select the color in here. Okay, nice. So if you click on add color, it will come here and show you what you want to pick. So let's see. Let me choose this. So okay, color. Yeah. Well, anyway, that's extra. You don't have to do that. You can play with that, you know. Yeah. Not yet. I don't want to save now. Okay. So all of that is done. I think that's all we need for the UI, right? Okay. So now we need to save it. Then don't forget, we have to save it in the same place that your lesson 13 is. Just like see the UI for 12, we save it in the same place. And my own is I think Python project, right? So I'll save it. So come here, we say save. So Python project. So lesson 12 underscore UI, right? Oh, no, 13, right? So once I save that, boom, it's right here. Okay, so now let's code. All right, so if you did lesson 12, we're gonna copy some of the code in there, right? Because we don't need to copy and paste, right? But we're still going to install some other things. So the first thing that we need to copy, so all of these statements in here, so copy them and put them in here. Okay, so after that, so because we need, so like these packages are the one that help us to do our design and all of that. So we also need other packages to help us to do the translation, right? and to also help us play the sound, right? So packages are code that are written already that we can install and use, right? Yeah, because we don't have to write Python code to translate text, right? It's going to take a lot of time, so we can just install what people have done before and use it, right? So we're going to use pip like we did last time to install things, right? So my designer is running here. You can, so like this is the designer, so you can leave the designer running and you go to a new terminal by clicking this plus, or you can stop your designer from running. So I will just go to a new terminal, right, and use that terminal to install the other thing that we'll need, right? So the first thing that we need is a package called translate. That's a package that will help us to translate our text. So to install it, so just do pip space install. So translate, don't make a mistake, translate. So when you click on enter, then it will install. It will probably take maybe like 30 seconds or 1 minute, but I have installed it already. When I click on enter, it will just tell me that, oh yeah, you've installed this already. Okay, so you see, so it tells me that requirement already satisfied, so that means I've already installed it already. Okay, so that's it. So but yours will take time to install everything and all of that. So that's the first thing to install. And the second thing, we need to install something that can convert text to speech. So to do that, pip install gtts. Please make sure that you type it this way, pip install. Again, I've installed it already, right? Yeah, I've just waited for you, but I had to test it, right? So yeah, once you type this, press enter, it will run and do everything. So again, it says I've installed it. So the next thing that we need to install is pip install place. So this one is the one that helps us to play the sound. So pip install play sound. Again, you press enter, you do all of that. Again, it says that I've installed it. All right, then the last thing that you want to do, so this extra step, I had to do it before my play sound worked, right? So maybe you guys need to do it, but yeah, so just do it. So after you install the other one, it will take time, right? Then the next thing, so type pip3 install pyobjc, right? Something like this. Then you press enter. I will not press enter because I've done it already. So this one will probably take more time, right? So you just see things popping up, going up and down. When it's done, then it will just come like this, right? So once we are done with all the installation, then we come back here. So everything that we just installed, we need to import them in our code, right? So the first thing that we installed was translate. So just say from translate, translate import capital letter translator. All right, then the gtts, the one that will convert text to speech. So from gtts import gtts, and the last one, the one that will play the sound, from play sound import play sound. Okay, good. So come down here. Okay, so if you're able to do that, that's good. And when you do that, everything should look good, right? And yeah, if you're able to install everything and it's still underlying some of this, it might be like maybe your system is slow, right? So don't panic, just continue doing what you are doing. Okay, so we're going to copy some code from lesson 12. So we need to copy, so this class, so just copy from here to here. Don't copy this one, right? So just copy from here to here, copy that, then you paste it. But now this is not calculator app anymore, so this is translation app. So just change this, translation app. All right, then our UI that we created, the name of your UI is what we use. My own is UI 13, right? Then another thing that we need to copy is this. So copy all of these, then make sure that when you want to paste it, you have to go back to the end of the line right here. Right, so the only thing that we need to change here, so this is not calculator app anymore, is this, and this one is, let's call this one translation, then translation dot shape. Okay, so the easy step is over. So now let's start. So the first thing that we'll do, okay, let's even test if our UI is going to come up before we start coding. So once I run this, the UI should come up, right? But it won't do anything. So let's run it. Okay, let me see. Nothing is happening. What is going on? Or is it showing somewhere else? Let me see. Lesson 13 UI.UI. Translation app. Yeah. Okay, you know what? Let me stop. Okay, I stop. Okay. Let me run it again. Oh yeah, this is it. Yeah, I thought it was the, yeah. So this is it. So it's working. It should work for you at the first. Yeah, it showed up. I just thought that that's not the right thing. So nothing is working right. So now let's code. So the first thing that we need to do is to do the translation. After the translation, they will now make it to play sound, right? So we need a function to translate, right? So come here, make sure that you are under here. So define a new function, let's call it translate, right? Then inside there just say self. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do, we need to get the text inside this so that the translate can work, right? So we'll create a variable called input text. Input text. Then to get that text from here, so we'll say self dot, then the name that we put into it in our designer was input text, right? So that was why I said that you should make sure you use the same name, input text dot to, so like this, to plain text means that to get the text. Okay, so that will get us the input text. Then the language that we want to convert it to, so let's create another variable called language is equal to, again, self, then language select. I think we call it language select. Yeah, I think so. I mean, if we didn't call it that, if you throw us error, then we check it. But I think I called the language select from our design, right? um, current text. No, let me confirm that. So this is our UI. So if I call it that, it should be in here. No, it's not there. So what did we call it? Let me see. So we didn't call it. So we only so we call it combo box. We can use, oh no, let me change the name. So let's launch our designer again. So that's gonna be BYQ T5 tools designer. That was why I said that we shouldn't close it, but I closed mine. So he said that I want to go back to the file. I say yes. So because I'm on this, but again, no, you could have just used this name combo box in here and you are good, but I just want to use language select. That's why. So I click on this, then I come back here, I change this, right? Then I say save. That's all. So then so now it changes to this. Okay, good. So that's exactly what I want. So I can stop this now because I don't want it to slow down my system. All right. So we've done that. Then this translator that we installed, we now need to call it to help us to translate our stuff, right? So so we'll do something like this. Create a variable called translator. Then we call this translator. Then we give it our language. So to language is equal to language. So this is the language that we wanted to convert it to. So then after that, we'll say translation is equal to translator. Please don't make mistake between translation and translation. Right? Is equal to translate our input text. No. So this translation is going to be, you know what, let me call this output. So output text. So this is what is being translated. So after the translation, then we want to put the result in our translated text, which is this guy, right? So we'll say translated text dot set plain text. Oh no, make sure you're typing all these names right, or else it won't work. Then inside that, copy, paste. So if I run this now, it should be able to translate it and put the result in my in here. So let's try it. So let's run this code. So let's say French. I say I. What is I in French? So once oh no, wait, this won't work now. So we need to do one more thing here. We need to say, but when I click on this button, run this function, right? Remember, so self dot translate button dot click. So that means when I click it, right, then connect it to my function, which is self dot translate. Okay, cool. Let's try it now. Hi in French. Bonjour. See, it worked. Let's try in Chinese. Hi in Chinese. Blah 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 blah. I don't know what that is. I in Russia. Da da da. I in Spanish. Hola. Good. All right. So we're able to do that. So it's very easy, right? So now let's do play sound. Play sound is a little bit tricky, but we'll figure it out. All right. So we are done with our translate. So but before we okay, so um let's get another function. So the function have to be on this line. So let's say function play sound and put self in there. Do that. So before we go, so let's make this button, right, to call that function so that we don't forget it like the other time. So self dot, so we call that button play button in our UI, in our design, right? Self dot no play button. So wait, when you click it, then connect it to self dot play sound. All right. So the first thing that we need for this one too, we need the translation that we just translated, right? Because we need it to speak. So if I say I and I translate it to French and it's bonjour, right? So I want it to say bonjour, right? So we need to get the translated text that we just did, and we can get that from this, which is what we put in our UI, right? So so this is what we'll do. Say translation is equal to self dot translated text dot to plain text. So this will get us that one. Then for the language, I can just copy this because it's gonna be the same language. All right. So now the way this translates is straightforward. The play sound is not straightforward because the language that this translate expert is just English, French, German, blah blah blah. But this play sound is expecting, so if it's German, it's expecting like like some code, right? So we have to make sure that to say if somebody select this language, then this code should come, right? So I'll show you guys now. So we're going to have an if statement and say if language, right, is equal to French, right, then so let's put another variable, call it, say let's say new underscore language will now be equal to FR, right? So if you want to translate French, this play sound is expecting FR, not French, right? So we are going to do it for all the language that we have. Yeah, I know it's a lot, but I will just copy and paste, so you guys have to type it because I have it already and my hand is paining me. So but just pause, so just pause the video right there and do it. Oh yeah, I changed it to language one. Yeah, it doesn't matter. So if language is French, then it's gonna be FR. If it's German, it's gonna be DE, blah 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 blah. And so pause the video and type all of this in. So when you are done with all of that, then we'll now start code to play the sound. So down here, so just do type this my obj. You can call this like this is just a variable name, okay? So now GTTS, this is the one that will do the stuff for us. So the text that we want to also, like, this is to translate text to speech. Yeah, so the text that you want to translate is this translation right there, and the language is lang1, and we don't want it slow, so slow false. So now we have our speech. So now we need to save it. So you can save it as mp3. So save it as the sound.mp3, right? So we save it. Now we need to play. Well, you guys can put comment in all your code, but yeah, it's just because of time. So save text to sound. So we have text to sound, so we save it. So now, since we have our sound, now we want to play the sound. So play the sound. So to play the sound, remember we installed something called play sound. But whenever you install something and you import it and you've not used it, you see it will be grayed out a little bit. So translation is not grayed out because we've used it. GTTS is not grayed out, but this one is grayed out, right? So oops, what did I do? So I copy it and I say play sound. What do I want to play? I want to play what I just said. Right? So it's that's straightforward. And you see this is not good at anymore. See, this one is greater. We are not using it. I might as well just delete it anyways. This one we are not using. You don't have to do that, but yeah. So I think everything should be done. Hopefully this works. Just cross. Oh yeah. Alright, so let's run it. So let's say I in French. Bonjour. So let's play the sound.
Bonjour.
Did you hear that?
Bonjour.
It's working. So let's hear that in Spanish.
Bonjour.
Oh, so we have to convert it first. Sorry. Convert it.
Hola.
So let's say hello, my friend. Let's translate it first. Hola, amigo.
Hola, amigo.
Let's try that in French. Convert it. Translate it rather.
Salut, mon ami.
Let's try that in Chinese. See, if you can use this, right?
我的朋友.
Huh. What a pangyo. Let's try it in Japanese.
時間がありません.
No way I can pronounce that. Portuguese.
Olá, minha menina.
Hola, minha menina. But anyway, so you guys, so that's, you see, we have our own Google Translate, right? So now you can use this to translate any text, right? But if you have a lot of text, it will take time to translate. So let's say I want to say I want to go and study so I can pass my examination and be the best student in my class. So if I want to translate to French, it will probably take time. Yeah. See, it actually stopped working because it's too much text, right? So yeah, you can't use too much text for this, right? Because it's free. Let me see the limit that we can have. So I want to go and study. Let's try this. This work.
Je veux aller voir.
so I can pass my, let me try mine.
Je veux étudier tous les gardiens de zoo, Esperluette Croisillon 10, afin que je puisse me préparer pour mon prochain rôle.
Okay, God knows what you're saying. So let's say my exam. I think it's when I go to the next level. Let's try this.
Je veux aller me cacher dans ma chambre.
Alright, anyway, so you guys saw how that works, right? So, and we just how many lines of code? We just 64 lines of code. We were able to accomplish that, which is really nice, right? So we saw how we could use calculator. We saw how we could use like Python to do calculator and also do Google Translate, right? So I don't have specific homework for you guys, but I want you to just think of anything that you could use Python to solve. Maybe you could come up with like application to uh keep track of your homework, or to keep track of the food like that you eat at home, or application to just do anything, right? Just think of anything that you do right now that you could create application for, that can help you, that computer can help you to solve, right? So that's why you guys are learning computer. So the homework I have for you guys, think of anything that you could use Python to solve, right? And just start working on it, right? Like, you don't have to finish it, just start working on it, right? And if you need help for me to guide you on how to implement it, just let me know, right? But no problem, it's too hard for you to use to use computer or Python to solve, right? Just think of anything, right? And you should probably be able to use Python to write something to solve it, right? So hopefully you guys enjoy this video, and please don't forget, like my video, please, 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 and subscribe and share with your friends and family. So in the next video, we're gonna start using Python to develop video game, right? So, and that should probably take us maybe 2 or 3 classes, or just 2, and after that we'll finish this course. All right, hope you guys are having hope you guys enjoy the video, and see you in the next video. Bye for now.